Having played IL-2 Great Battles on flat screen for several years, I've recently been able to experience it in VR thanks to Pimax, who have loaned me a Pimax Crystal Light VR headset. And wow, what a game changer! The biggest surprise for me wasn't just the clarity of the VR image, it was how much VR improved my spotting and situational awareness in dogfights. I can now understand why some people who use VR say they will never go back to using flat screen. So, how does the Pimax Crystal Light improve the flying experience compared to flat screen? Does playing in VR help with spotting in dogfights? And how can I set up my Crystal Light to work with my RTX 5070 Ti to run IL-2 Great Battles smoothly in high resolution VR? Before I answer those questions, if you are considering buying a Pimax VR headset, you can use my affiliate discount code DUNKS to get a 2% discount. I will receive a commission as well. I will put links to the Crystal Light and other Pimax products and offers in the description below. Let's start with how I've set up the Crystal Light to work with my 5070 Ti. The Crystal Light is capable of delivering crisp, high-resolution VR visuals direct from the GPU. The display panels offer 2880 by 2880 per eye resolution, which at 100% image quality requires a render resolution of 4308 by 5100 per eye. You will need a powerful GPU to take full advantage of that. So what settings can my RTX 5070 Ti support? First thing to note is that IL-2 Great Battles wants to launch via Steam VR, but in general you're going to get better performance by using OpenXR instead. To make this happen, you will need to download a program such as OpenComposite. I found it on GitHub, I think it's on GitLab as well. I'll put the link to OpenComposite in the video description below. Follow the instructions to download the system-wide installation. Once installed, open it, and the simplest thing to do is to set OpenXR as your default system-wide VR runtime. Alternatively, you can configure each individual application accordingly. Once that is done, go into your Pimax Play app, Device Settings General, and set the VR runtime to be Pimax OpenXR. IL-2 should now run via Pimax OpenXR, avoiding the Steam VR performance overhead. Your in-game graphics settings will have an impact on VR performance as well. Here are the settings I've used for this testing. I use quite high settings throughout, but if you are struggling for frames, have a look at your settings and drop some of them down. For example, cloud quality, shadows, mirrors, or horizon draw distance, etc. So now let's go back into the Pimax Play app, device settings, and see what performance I can get with my 5070 Ti. To start with, I am using a refresh rate of 72 Hz. I've also selected controllerless mode, just in case it gives me any extra performance, but I haven't tested it. On the Games tab, my baseline setup is a custom image quality of 0.6. Sharpness is also set to 0.6. There is the option to use GPU upscaling, which I'm not using in my baseline, but I will take a look at it later. There are also fixed foveated rendering options which may help performance, but I'm not using those either in my baseline. Plus, in IL-2, I often want to be able to see clearly in the periphery, so the fixed foveated rendering options are not so useful in that scenario. The rest of my settings you can see here. On the General tab, I've switched off Home, and on the Advanced tab, I've switched off the Active Chaperone. Just in case that frees up some extra performance, but I haven't tested them. These settings give me a stable 72 FPS. The image quality is certainly good enough for spotting and seeing fine detail, and the GPU is not stressed. In practical terms, this means the headset feels smooth and stable at 72 Hz, with enough GPU headroom to increase refresh rate or image quality if desired. If I increase the refresh rate to 90 Hz, performance remains smooth, and I still have around 18% GPU headroom left. If I also increase the image quality to 0.75, I become GPU bound. I'm only hitting around 80 FPS, so that means the performance is going to suffer from micro stutters. This is where GPU upscaling can help. If I switch on the NIS quality preset, you can see that I'm now at a smooth 90 FPS, and I still have around 20% GPU headroom left to deal with any performance spikes. So in summary, the 5070 Ti is definitely capable of delivering a high quality visual experience in the Pimax Crystal Light. By far the two biggest upsides for me of using the Pimax Crystal Light compared to flat screen are the incredible sense of immersion and the increased spotting capability. Having not used VR before, it is amazing how much it makes you feel like you're actually sitting inside the cockpit, particularly when you're flying low or looking around at other aircraft in close proximity. Even shooting at other aircraft feels more immersive due to the 3D effect on the gun sight. I'm playing on the Beloga PvP server right now, and I've just about got this yak lined up for the shot. There are a few other players buzzing around as well, and it's pretty frantic. Spotting and tracking aircraft are of course the holy grails of combat flight simulation. I have personally found using the Pimax Crystal Light to be hugely beneficial to my spotting capability relative to flat screen. The combination of high resolution QLED panels and aspherical lens optics make for a high degree of visual clarity, facilitating spotting aircraft in the air as well as low to the ground. I have finished off the yak, and it feels all the more visceral to do that in VR. When you're looking around and checking 6, you really do get that sense of how restrictive the cockpit is and how difficult it must have been for pilots back in the day. I hope this has been a useful insight to using the Pimax Crystal Light with a 5070 Ti. I will be using this headset for a few months, so if you have any questions about it, please put them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.